The tradition of fathers or male family members giving the bride away is disgusting. It's an archaic, misogynistic, ridiculous practice that treats women like property. Pair that with the ridiculous purity ideas that are already twisted up in the father-daughter relationship, and it's all garbage. Boo. I would say this person's got some
I feel like they have probably some issues themselves. That I feel like that's generalizing and exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, like, I don't exactly know the origin, but to me it's always just been like family support, and in my opinion I think it should be both parents.
Yeah. Yep. I love
walking
that.
up and giving away, cause you're giving away your kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
And
I guess the terminology of giving away can seem problematic, but
I don't know. And I think couples who don't have the relationship with dad, or have a relationship with a couple different like dads, like maybe dad, stepdad, that can be a little bit like a little bit tricky for them.
Yeah.
But also don't, like, I think everything that we talk about is like, don't feel like you have to. If you don't vibe with it, don't feel like you have to. But I would defend this stance a little bit, like it's the idea of somebody giving somebody away, father, male figure, because a lot of the women, I would say a majority of women that we see as brides have a beautiful relationship with their dad.
Yeah.
And like a lot of them want to do like even a first look with dad. And okay, like you want to get rid of the archaic, misogynistic, ridiculous practice. But if somebody has a relationship with their dad that's just precious, why would you make them feel bad about it being misogynistic? My dad gave me away, and my dad knows I'm a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, right.
And I
don't think anyone's questioning that.
No,
nobody.
I don't know.
I think it just shows like a little bit of like respect, like mutual respect for dad, and then respect for his daughter and the person she's marrying. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I think you can definitely twist it in a way like this person did, but I don't think anyone sees it like that anymore.
Yeah. And I think if you are like, I kind of get what they're saying. Mm-hmm. Like maybe I won't have my dad walk me down the aisle, but it kind of like makes me sad to not have that. Like have mom also walk you down the aisle.
Yeah, just make it a group thing. Like you're just show, basically at that point you're just showing family the family is showing support of you marrying this person you're going to marry, and there's nothing wrong with that. And
for our couples who don't have dad, or like couples who have lost parents, like a lot of times somebody else will walk them down the aisle, and I think it's just to show support.
Family support.
Yep. It's not the
whole... tradition is dad does it, but what it is really now is just family showing support of what she's doing.
Yeah. I think there are plenty of other things to be upset about than having somebody's dad walk them down the aisle.
And then when he gets to the front, they always say, her mother and I. Yeah. Like, it's not dad giving away.
Yeah. And I think that...
it's still... okay, I feel like the part that's hard to shake is the treating women like property, like giving away. The term giving away feels like she is mine, now she's yours. I don't really have a way.
But I think that a lot of times what people see that as now is like, I'm her dad and I protect her. Yeah. And now I'm giving that job to you.
And not she's my way to get a new batch of livestock.
Most of our like couples live outside of the home, and they don't live with their parents anymore. So it's not like dad actually sees her as property or whatever. I think it's just like, it's been my job to be her protector. And now you're her protector, which if you have a problem with men being protectors, like, okay, like that's fine.
I feel like we're catering to a smaller and smaller group of people.
But I just
layer.
I don't know. I just don't see how you could have a huge issue with, like, you could have a hard time swinging how people are, like the phrasing you give them away. But I would argue, or
even you could even say it was dad's job to support, like, just like be there for her, and now it's someone else's job.
And if you specifically don't have that relationship with your dad where he's been the protector or the guardian or whatever, but your mom has, or your sister has, or your brother has, or your grandma has, like, have that person walk you down the aisle. Like, if you want to make it something different, you have total freedom to do that. It's like, it's literally your wedding day. But if somebody has their dad walk them down the aisle, it's not because it's not always, I'm sure. Maybe sometimes it's because their dad is actually getting some goats out of it or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I think that I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
That line of thinking is of everything as a perversion, or everything is because it's based on something that was kind of problematic in a era where it wasn't, like, things were different, but just everything that's based on something like that, like, that rabbit hole goes so deep. Like,
yep.
You could say Christmas is a bad holiday because it's based on the Roman Saturnalia, whatever it is. But
yeah,
I don't know. Everything's based on something bad because the world used to be bad.
Yeah.
And you can't just throw everything away.
Or make people feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
That's all I got to say.
That was actually kind of a lot to say, so.
All right,
what's next?
So the next one, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm wrapped up in cords here. The next one, you should be able to do whatever you want for your special day.
Yes.
Yes,
I agree.
Support this.
We don't say anything else. I agree.
Destination, middle of the week, no kids, etc. Without the bride, groom, or guests getting offended. I got married on a Friday. A ton of people told me, well, not everyone can take off work, so that's rude. I told them I'm giving everyone plenty of notice to take time off. It's okay if it's important to them, or if it's not. We're still friends/family. I'm not going to change my wedding for them, and they don't have to adjust their lives for me. No drama came from me or my husband, but other people always had too many opinions over what a ceremony should be instead of just two people joining together.
I 100% agree. If you're okay with people not attending weddings.
Yep.
If you're okay with people not attending your wedding, do whatever you want.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yep. And a Friday is not super weird. Like, we've seen some Thursdays. We've heard of some Monday, Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. Like,
I think if you're having a Thursday wedding and you expect people to fly out for you, then you're like, that's a little unreasonable.
But if you're not problematic and you're like, I understand if you can't come. I understand that we're not always going to adjust our lives for each other. Like, I am having on a Friday because that's what makes sense for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not adjusting that for you. And if you don't want to fly out for this because you can't get that Friday off, like, or because you don't want to take that Friday off, like, that's understandable. I think if we all just have a mutual respect for the fact that some people are going to have things that happen and we're not all each other's 110 like top priority, like, I think that's fine.
Yeah. You have to be chill in your mindset if you're going to take an approach like that. Like, you have to be okay with people not liking it or not coming.
Yeah. And this is other soapbox. People might not be able to show up on a Friday because they're working. So if you have your wedding late on Friday, like a ceremony at like 5:30 or 6 or something, then maybe more people can come, but you're going to struggle with guests.
Yeah.
If you have your wedding on a Saturday, I feel like you're going to see the most guest count, which is why people have their weddings on Saturdays. And if you have your wedding on a Sunday, people are going to leave a little early because they have work on Monday. Like,
they might not drink so much.
It's the reality of the situation. And whatever you do, you're going to have to be okay with probably giving a little bit, because Saturdays are also going to be the most expensive wedding dates.
Right.
So you're giving a little bit to get the most people there to stay the longest. But I don't know, if budget is more important to you and you're not necessarily concerned with everybody staying till midnight and partying hard, or you're okay with having your ceremony a little later in the day on a Friday, like, then I think you can definitely be lenient with it. But yeah,
right. if you're going to be particular about what your wedding is,
have
it on a Saturday.
Have it on a Saturday. But
if you are chill and you don't care, do whatever you want.
Do whatever
you can do whatever you want, but you have to be okay with what that brings.
Yep.